Good morning, gentlemen. This is Sir Yeetus, and I'm here with a morning live stream. Oh, snap. Uh-oh. Sir Yeetus, why are you having a morning live stream? I will definitely let you guys know. Like I explained earlier, I did plan on taking a break this month, but of course, when I try to take a break, there's like 200 things going on in the world that is just insane. Insane. I do have a few things to talk about, which it needs to be pointed out because the insanity, the downward spiral that society is going towards to, it's it's funny. You know, I don't know how to say it. It's downright insane to the point where you have no choice but to laugh. So before I begin, I'm shout out these boys right quick, and then we're gonna start out with our first topic. And the first topic will definitely be about something that happened recently. I think it was yesterday or the day before, where it clearly shows the lack of accountability in today's modern women. But can we really blame them all the way? No, no, because there's people in society that do not hold them accountable. Okay, they enable their behavior, and I'll show you in a bit. I've been seeing it for the last couple of days. It's been irking me a bit. Josh Huster, what's going on, man? What's going on? Indy MGTOW. Of course, Lionel MGTOW. What's going on? Uh Mark from Tinder, Twilight Zone. Shit, this is just a dream. Go back to sleep. I wish it was the case. I really wish it was the case. And Free Ross, yo, so you to stream me while I'm working? Nice. Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Might as well. I'm sure in like an hour, a lot of you guys will be on break, lunch break. So you guys can chill, listen to what I got to say while you guys eat your sandwiches and stuff, your Doritos. Indeed, MGTOW. Hope this don't start riots. We already passed some. No, it happened, especially with the Roe versus Wade decision to overturn it. The feminists and liberals just popped up right in front of the Supreme Court in like 2 minutes or less. Like that is a world record. Like it got to the point where I thought that they were literally planted there just in case. But the fact that they're able to form a mob so quickly shows me that these liberals do. A lot of them don't really have jobs. They don't. They either live off the government or they live off of daddy and mommy's money. Because there's no way in hell that if I didn't like something, I will be within. I'll be in Washington D.C. in like 5 minutes. I was so shocked on how quick that crowd formed around the Supreme Court. But let us continue. Sith. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name, but hello, Raw Meat Bros. What's going on, man? One Fast Jack, what's good? Mr. Pliskin, what's going on? Okay, let us begin. Okay. I am going to bring up this one picture, this one subject. Oh, I guess before I do, I'm going to bring on. Hold up, private chat. All right. Gray, what's going on, man?
Jesus. What the fuck, man?
I told you I was going to be on this morning.
No, I know you were going to be on, and I'm here for that. I'm talking more like the fucking golden calf of the liberals has finally been slaughtered. What the hell?
It's about to get crazy out here. I am definitely going to be pointing as many things out as I can. Speaking of that, chat, you know this, we live in a Twilight Zone thing. I plan on making it a series. Not a live stream series, but it will be just a 3 to 5 minute video. Okay? Because things need to be pointed out right now. What do you say, Gray?
Actually, I've got some old episodes of the Twilight Zone downloaded. Maybe you could get some footage from those.
We need to, because at this point, I'm shocked.
2022 Twilight Zone memes shall become relevant.
2020, oh my god, it's so horrible. 2021 won't be so bad. 2021 was worse. 2022 should be our year. And now we're in the brink of a world war, nuclear war. Okay, nice. All right. God does not.
Basically, we're spinning the fucking end times wheels. Like, will it be nuclear fallout, widespread famine, all out civil war, World War III without nukes?
Yep.
Just pick your disaster movie.
Exactly. And we're here like that one meme of that one dog sitting while the house is on fire, saying, "This is fine. This is fine. It's okay."
Now, to be fair, what you didn't see was the years-long series of comics prior to that, where he absolutely hates the house and it's done everything to destroy him. So he's basically like, well, fuck it. This is fine. I'm okay with what is happening right now. It's not that he's blind to it, it's that he hates the house that much.
Exactly. And Mr. Pliskin, year of the yeet. Yes. Yeet or be yeeted. That's what I'm gonna call 2022. Because it's getting to that point right now. And Line of MGTOW, I agree. The pyramid is collapsing. All right. That's why it's crazy. Out of nowhere. I know they overturned the Roe versus Wade for multiple reasons. But before we get to the Supreme Court decision, I want to get to the story, because this story is ridiculous. It happened recently. Let me pull up the picture. And before we begin, you already know it's shilling time. I want more art. You know, I gotta get more art. If you want to support your boy Sir Yeetus and the Warband and more art, okay, I need more art. Go ahead and donate to PayPal.me/Sir Yeetus or Cash App Sir Yeetus. Okay, you can see the links on top of the chat. All donations are definitely appreciated. We are having a phenomenal team of Warband artists. Okay. Our product it's just getting better and better because of you guys' help. Like, I can't thank you guys enough. All right. Besides the background here, Gray pretty much did for free. So, thank you, Gray.
Yeah, most welcome.
Let's
probably sketching something in the background here too.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up this floor right quick. Let me solo lay out this bitch, and bam. This story right here. All right. This story happened very recently. I thought it was satire, so I had to look it up, right? But of course, this is actually a real situation. So, it's been reported on May 3rd, 2022. Woman shot teen in the face during road rage incident, then went to get nails done, judge says. Police have arrested a woman accused of shooting a 17-year-old in the face during a road rage incident on I-20. So, but that's not the entire story, okay? So, supposedly, they had a little altercation. You know how it is when people get a little bit angry between, drivers, right? But more to it. This woman tracked down this teenager for around 16, 17 miles. 16, 17 miles, tracked her down. Okay. And then that's the photo that one of the passengers took of the victim before she let off a one round into the car, and it hit the 17-year-old in the face. So what makes it even worse, right? What makes it even worse? She had this lady right here, the lady with the gun. She had 3 kids in the car when she did this. 3 kids. 3 kids popping people in the face. Pretty much, I wouldn't even say just attempted murder. It's premeditated murder. Okay, how can it not be? But guess what?
It's still attempted unless there's a body.
But here's the kicker. So this is why I have an issue with society enabling and letting model women do whatever the fuck they want and not worry about serious consequences. They counter this as aggravated assault. Aggravated assault. Getting shot in the face by a woman is concluded to be aggravated assault. Oh, and endangering, I forgot, minors or something like that, endangering children. Are you kidding me? So you telling me a woman that had an issue with road rage tracks down a 17-year-old teen for around 16, 17 miles and then pulls out that blicky, that Glock, and shoots a teenager in the face. In the face. And then after she does that, she goes and get her nails done like nothing happened. And that does not conclude attempted murder. It does not include premeditated murder. Just aggravated assault. Accountability, right? What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Let's see. I'm actually looking up some definitions here because it is not hard to
shooting a teenager.
Okay. Well, I think we're at the point where we can stop being surprised that they're getting less charges for the same crime.
But I'm just saying, when it's just like that obvious, it's like, what the? She got caught, and that's the thing. 8K, not even 4K, 8K.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's obvious, and if it were a completely neutral party judging it, then yes, it would qualify. But that's when you get into the whole like, oh, she's a mother. We don't want to make her kids orphans. We can't take her out of the system. We don't want to ruin her life over a simple mistake. You know all the fucking bullshit excuses that they're going to pull out every single time, like they do every single time.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, it's like, well, you guys are hypocrites, and she did all this very dangerous activities with her kids in the car.
Yeah, okay. By the way, just for reference, apparently simple assault can include threatening to slap someone around and approaching them looking ready to throw a punch. Not actually committing to it, just threatening to do it. Apparently, aggravated assault may include shooting a person with a gun or, well, YouTube doesn't like the G word. Force multiplier seems to be the way to get around that. Shooting a person with a force multiplier or threatening to Minecraft someone while pointing a force multiplier at the victim.
I forgot to specify. My bad, y'all. The victim was a 17-year-old girl. My bad.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, chances are the only reason this actually got a charge was because it was female on female and probably melanated on melanated violence. You know that if this was a melanated woman on a white man, this wouldn't have even been a charge.
Oh, no, not at all. Understandable. Have a good day. Like, it is mind-blowing to me that getting shot in the face, which is pretty much your head, which can pretty much be fatal, it can only be, well, they decided to give her aggravated, even though she tracked down this teenager for 16, 17 miles.
Now, let's see. Aggravated assault, usually a felony punishable by approximately 1 to 20 years in prison.
Well, we'll see if she even gets
normally. Here's the thing. Normally, the judge has some discretion on the length of the sentence and whether to allow the defendant to serve any portion of the sentence on probation rather than in prison. So, I'm willing to bet the reason that this was lowered to aggravated assault was so that she can get away on probation and the kids don't get sent into foster care or orphanage or whatever. I'm going to bet that was the justification and the appeal made to the lawyer, and that's why it's aggravated assault and not attempted murder.
Like I said, like we're living in a Twilight Zone, because how is it not tracking down somebody for miles more specifically 16, 17 miles, is not premeditated.
Well, now keep in
Twilight
mind,
Zone,
it
gentlemen.
wasn't. I think it's not that it was premeditated doesn't count with attempted murder. I don't think there's a difference between attempted murder and premeditated attempted murder. If there'd actually been a body, if she'd actually like, instead of, I guess, taking out her jaw, if this had been like fucking plastered the opposite window with brain matter, then yeah, it would matter whether or not she'd been tracked for 16 miles. But it's not an act, but it's not a murder charge if no one is dead.
True. But attempted murder, that should be it right there.
Well,
especially getting shot in the face.
Should be, yes, but that's why I'm willing to bet it was dropped to aggravated assault. I'll look up attempted murder real quick, but I'm willing to bet there's a lot less leniency for that charge.
I was so caught off guard when I read this story. I'm like, are you kidding me? Just put a man in that situation, tracking another dude down. He will be thrown, the book will be thrown at his face at the speed of light.
Well, that's because they want to take children away from men. They don't want to take them away from women.
Well, of course. That's why we say we live in the Twilight Zone. I just had to emphasize, because this is, I'm still heated about this. I'm still heated because, once again, this will just only enable women to do more heinous shit, knowing that they will only get a slap on the wrist. I know that this has been happening for a while, but right now it is going overboard. Okay, getting shot in the face, chasing a teenager down for 16, 17 miles might end up as probation. What? With the kids in the car. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, apparently the same site where I found this thing for aggravated assault laws does not have the laws for attempted murder listed.
Oh, I am not surprised at all. Oh,
no, I voted that. Okay, oh jeez. All right.
Gunsight 1. A lot of societal issues this day can really be traced back to the destruction of the nuclear family. Father keeps son out of prison and daughters off the stripper pole. I agree 1,000,000%. All right, nobody's gonna tell me otherwise. Let me see. Let me see. Come here. All right.
You know, that's the thing. I'm also willing to bet that they could get the aggravated assault charge, because that would also stick easier. Because attempted murder, like that is harder to prove, because all she has to do is like, no, she wasn't trying to kill her. She was just trying to scare. She was just trying to scare her.
Oh, I could just see it in court. Oh, I could just see it in court. Oh Lord. She wasn't.
Like, that's the thing. Like, no. How much you want to? How much you want to bet? There was the argument. It's in their culture to use guns for intimidation.
Oh, actually, I'll bet $100 they would use that. I would use that as an excuse.
That's the thing. Like, you have people pulling guns out because someone got their order wrong at McDonald's.
Man. Oh yeah, hearing plenty of women just jumping through the drive-through windows and shit, doing some.
So like, that's the thing. Like, they're so fucking desensitized that they're like, look, we couldn't. I think I'm willing to bet that if they tried to charge her for attempted murder, she might actually get off scot-free.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I do see what you're saying. Why they would choose aggravated assault, but it's just solely the fact that she has an XX chromosome that is just like, oh yeah, you almost killed the child, so which technically was a child by law.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. Probation. Here, go ahead.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, probation, you can still be with your kids, even though if there was a case for take the kids away. That's the thing. If she still manages to keep the kids, like, you fucking know. You fucking know that if one chromosome was fucking different.
Yeah, it'll be completely that guy will be thrown in maximum security prison before
I
he can
think even
say.
I think that's the difference. Like a woman on this aggravated assault, she might get a year or two of probation. A man would have gotten 20 years behind bars for the exact same charge.
At least.
Well, no, 20 years is the maximum penalty for aggravated assault.
Oh no, they'll add in more time most likely for the
Well, they probably
endangerment.
would have also added, child endangerment and other things. But on aggravated assault alone, that's the maximum they could have done at him. Whereas probably 1 year probation is what this woman's going to get.
And El Said, attempt to kill can be known by the place of shooting at the distance along the number of shots. She pretty much pulled up to the side of the car and aimed to shoot directly. It's close range. It's close range. If you guys know the maximum range of a M9 or whatever the fuck she had, she pretty much was shooting at point blank range.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. Like, there's all sorts of nuances that a decent lawyer could probably wriggle out of for attempted murder, whereas aggravated assault is very cut and dry. And then it's just a matter of whether the judge is actually going to take the thing seriously or whether the judge is a fucking plant with a bleeding heart that is just going to see, you know how it is. They're gonna fucking let her off because it's gonna paint a fucking sob story of a stressed out mother with children who just had a bad day.
Oh, I can see you right now. Oh, she had a rough childhood. She was mentally abused.
She's a single mother who's been struggling to feed her kids any way she can.
Oh, it's ridiculous because
I think we need to have like the killing joke argument.
Shit, I agree, but it's the fact that she was caught in 4K, in 8K, in 16K. If she does not serve any jail time, I'm done. We live in a society. I'm so done. Oh, yeah, I guarantee you that's what's going to happen, Ezio. Even though she shot a teenager point blank range in the face with the kids in the car, and then she went to go get her nails done later. She's the true victim. She didn't do nothing.
Yeah. No, seriously, I'm. I want a lawyer to take this quote into the courtroom and actually use it for defense once. All it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. Just take that, use it, and just use it in fucking court. I want that in the court fucking records. I want a stenographer to write that shit down.
Yeah,
let the court hear this fucking argument.
Similar to The Dark Knight, right? All it takes is a little push. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing was all the Killing Joke came out long before The Dark Knight, so I'm willing to bet like Nolan was inspired.
Heath Ledger definitely said it. Like he definitely made it a lot better. Like it's at this point where I might do a breakdown of the interrogation scene because I think that's one of the greatest scenes in the history of cinema. I thought that scene was phenomenal because it literally exposes the dark skeletons that's in the closet of what is called society. I love the interrogation scene in the Dark Knight.
Well, it's a damn good movie. Don't get me wrong. Damn good.
One of the greatest movies in the 21st century. Okay, that's literally besides the newest, the Batman. The Dark Knight was dark as hell, especially when it comes to the philosophies and stuff. I fucking love. I loved it.
Actually, would you actually say that it is the best adult comic book movie?
Yes, I can say that with confidence. It is.
I clarify with adult because when you get into the ones like the animated ones with the younger audience in mind, I think there's others that could give it a run for its money. I think personally, but Batman Mask of the Phantasm, like that is my favorite Batman movie, bar none.
And you did watch the animated movie of The Killing Joke, right?
I've seen clips of it, not the entire thing.
Yeah,
the ending of that is fucking stellar.
Oh, it's great. Like, see, that's why I don't have hate for either DC or Marvel, okay? Because they both are, how do I say? DC is more serious than Marvel. That's the most simple thing I can like put together. DC is a more serious type of. It's the closest thing next to Invincible.
Well, that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. DC has absolutes. Like there's a very clear line between the heroes and the villains. And the heroes are not supposed to cross those lines. Marvel, it's always a bit more fluid.
Batman pisses me off. Sorry. He does. Like which I think is great, even though that you have this line, this philosophy, these values and stuff. I like how in DC, eventually, at least recently, they point out the flaws within those philosophies on why it's like, well, to the other hero or person, why that philosophy doesn't make sense, or they believe that philosophy is wrong. Like, I like those conversations, especially the Under the Red Hood. If you watch that one,
yeah, I have seen Under the Red Hood.
Where, damn, which Robin was it again?
The second one.
Yeah, where he confronted Batman on why he kept Joker alive. I love that interaction.
Jason Todd, that's the one. Yeah,
Jason Todd. I love how Jason Todd confronted Batman. Like, hey, why is he still alive? Why is he still here? He killed.
Now let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. The reason that Batman hasn't killed the Joker is because the Joker is too good a villain for DC to let die.
That, and also that's pretty much Batman's closest friend, whether he wants to admit it or not.
But that's the thing. Like that's where I actually am a little more pissed off about some of the more recent and stuff like Under the Red Hood, because it got less into the conflict between. It got into deconstructing the character of Batman. Like, if you haven't seen Mask of the Phantasm, I'm going to highly recommend it because I believe it is a superior Batman to Under the Red Hood.
Really?
Yes. Very firm on this. I will send you the video file and you can watch it, and that will be my case.
Okay, I definitely got to check that out because... Don't get me wrong. I love all the, the magic and all the gadgets and all that crazy shit. But I'm more of a DC fan than Marvel, solely because I love how there's conflicting arguments on where they stand. Especially Injustice. Injustice is my favorite arc, as you will say. I love it because how do I say? I know we're going off on some superhero stuff, chat, but we gotta talk about this because the other topics we're about to talk about today is gonna put a damper on your mood. Who wouldn't react how Superman did when Joker yeeted Metropolis and killed his wife and unborn child? Like, for me, I was Team Superman until he killed Shazam. I was Team Superman until he killed pretty much a 17, 18-year-old at the time. I think that was his age. Because in Injustice, Shazam was a bit older. So, but regardless, the fact that he was willing to kill Shazam, that was like not even... I think was 17 or 18 years old at the time. That's no. But everything else, I do agree. If I had the power to stop crime, why wouldn't I? But like, if you're literally the most powerful being on the planet and nobody can really come close, why not establish peace and stuff on Earth. But I do see where Batman's coming from, right? Because Batman's like, oh, you can't be going around killing people because when you start killing one person, you can't stop. You're just gonna be killing more and more, and the people shouldn't be oppressed by authority figure. Okay, that's tyranny. That's not right. I'm like, but he was going after pretty much criminals and stuff. Like,
yeah, see, we could go down for a part 2 of that, because there would actually be other examples I'd like to bring up on the matter, but we're on Clown World, not comic books.
Well, comic books can be Clown World as well, right?
Yeah, but like we could go for another hour or so on that topic, and I think there's other.
I'm just saying, alphabet community in the comic books. So that's another Clown World situation, but we'll talk about that in a bit. So the second situation that I wanted to talk about, which is pretty much a Clown World situation, Twilight Zone situation, is the Roe versus Wade. Okay, never that I thought that I would see within my lifetime. This came out of nowhere, but we're not stupid, right? Right now in the Warband, right now in Sir Yeetus' world, we think outside the box. Okay, we don't look at things at face value. So it makes you wonder, because this came out of nowhere. Not only came out of nowhere, but it was leaked from the Supreme Court. Why would they? I'm asking you, chat. Then I'm gonna let you go, Gray. Why would they decide to overturn a very important decision now, such as Roe versus Wade? All right, go ahead, Gray.
Best explanation I've heard so far: smoke bomb.
I agree.
Like, there's a bunch of other shit that is coming out or has come out. Like, keep in mind the war out east. That's not, despite their best efforts, that's not really grasping the public imagination. Beer bug is fairly dead. Like, normal people are going around without masks on anymore. So you're getting that divide. Like, it's hard, and it's not for a lack of trying, but they're having a very hard time reeling that back in.
And Free Raw, some say because fertility rates are low. Oh, we know fertility rates are low, but that's only a slight reason, in my opinion.
And that's the thing. Like, it sanctions it, but really, from what I understand listening to Hammerhead and Chronic, all this really does is transfers it from the federal level back to the state level. So California is still gonna California.
Well, Lion and MGTOW, once again, I understand the fertility rate is a reason, but I don't think that's the only reason.
Like, okay, and so here's the thing, and they wouldn't, and even if it hasn't been turned over yet, they just leaked it. The leak is not accidental by a long shot. Regardless of whether they intended to turn it over, the timing of the leak is what is suspect.
Exactly. Why, chat? What's coming up this year? The midterms, right? What's going on in Ukraine right now? A lot of shady stuff that I can't mention without pissing off Susan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And on top of that, Musk just bought Twitter. A whole bunch of stock in a bunch of woke companies are collapsing. There's a bunch of inconvenient shit that needs to be pushed out of the news cycle immediately. And dropping this leak is probably the fastest way to do it.
Yep. And people are starting to smell the BS from the Ministry of Truth. Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh.
We need to do something right now fast. Oh, what we gonna do? What we gonna do? So here's a big reason why I think they decide at all times right now to release the Roe versus Wade. Okay, how else are they going to get the Democrats and liberals and feminists and male feminists riled up for the midterms? Okay, of course they're going to be fighting tooth and nail to keep the people that represents them in power. Because if they do it later on, they're not going to have enough time to even gather enough because they already are not liking Sleepy Joe at all, right? The people that Sleepy Joe's the best, Kamala Harris the best, blah blah blah. It's only a very very small minority being the echo chamber. Not too many people are liking this administration right now. So I'm like, what can we do to see if we can keep a lot of Democrat butts and seats on the during the midterms? Let's take away the power to yeet their own child, or give the power away to the states. Oh, they're already the rage. The thing. Oh my god!
But the thing, it's much like the "Don't Groom Children" bill. The actual effect isn't what matters. It's the very fact that it is Roe v. Wade. Every time there's been a major liberal opposition to a change on the Supreme Court, they have drug out, Roe v. Wade's going to get taken away. Roe v. Wade's going to get revoked. Roe v. Wade's going to get destroyed. We need to keep these selections off the Supreme Court in order to preserve Roe v. Wade. And now this pops. It doesn't matter what the actual effect is. The liberals have been conditioned for years to treat this as fucking sacred and important, regardless of the actual effect.
Literally. This is...
for the people in California, there will be no difference.
Oh, no, they're keeping the abortion. Nah, the California, New York, and this one other... Give me a second. California, New York, and
Oregon.
I'll say, yeah, Oregon and Washington. They're not going to take that away. They're not. They're too liberal. So
shit, they might even fucking double down even further. Like last I've heard, like basically abortion it's going to extend to young children that have been alive for a while.
What? All right.
Yeah. Basically, they're pushing ahead towards toddlers.
No. Now I'm a big fan of let's. That is so fucking annoying. Okay. I'm a big fan of the overturn of Roe versus Wade now. I'm a big advocate. There's no way. There's no way. Oh man. Before I go off on a tangent and get my channel yeeted, I am going to talk about the big thing that's definitely going to be happening soon, okay? Right now, nobody wants to talk about it, but we already left. See, here's another, we're living in a Twilight Zone situation. Sleepy Joe said that, we're not going to be going to any more wars, right? And we had and we all knew he was bullshit, but we like, hey, let's see what he's going to say. He already left billions of dollars worth of equipment in Afghanistan. Okay, that's bad in itself. But all of a sudden, not even a year later, we're on the brink of World War III, and he's sending, I don't know how many billions right now, right? So I think the most
33 billion.
33. I thought it was 44 billion.
Could be more. Last I heard was 33.
Okay.
But, that was a little while ago. So God no.
And on top of that, he wants to do a $4 trillion infrastructure project, right? And then on top of that, they were contemplating on giving out even more stimulus checks. But, this isn't my fault that inflation is getting out of control.
That's disinformation.
Oh, yeah. My apologies, Ministry of Truth. I did not know what I was thinking. Completely wrong. I didn't do my research. Another thing. You guys saw the White House comedic dinner, or whatever the fuck it's called?
I think what Trevor Noah cracked a joke about Biden.
Yeah, and half the time I didn't think he was joking at all.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, it's not. Like, it wasn't even that he was laughing at Biden. He was laughing at all the people whose lives Biden has ruined. He didn't
Exactly.
actually take anything. Joe was just like, "Oh hey, yeah, oh yeah, whole bunch of people are broken, starving right now because of your policies. Isn't that hilarious?"
Yeah, Trevor Noah, he wasn't even smiling like that when he was saying all that. And
Well,
then
it's kind of hard to
Sleepy
smile when you
Joe,
got a. It's hard to smile when you got a bunch of trained snipers on you at all times.
and Sleepy Joe was just having the greatest time of his life. Like, it's hilarious because it's true.
Okay, you're giving Joe too much credit. You honestly think he's aware of what's going on half the time? He probably just realizes that he's in a place where people are laughing, so he laughs in order to
Okay,
not be rude.
he had one joke that I thought that I chuckled a bit. I chuckled a bit where he said that, oh, this guy Brandon, oh, he has a lot of supporters. I'm like, you know what, not bad, not bad. That's a I have a very low bar for him, and he was able to meet that standard. I was able to chuckle a bit. I'm like, you know what, that was an eye joke. That was okay, so. But everything else was just cringe.
Yeah, well, you got a bunch of people who don't like, they're only in positions because of their demographic. They don't actually have to fucking work their way up through a comedy club. I mean, let's be honest, if we'd put Chronic on there and let
Oh
him roast
no,
Biden,
no.
oh, like a like the audience, like that's the audience there might not be in fucking stitches, but people would actually tune in and still be talking about that shit.
Secret Surfers will be there immediately. Um, but it was just very uncanny, very concerning, and very weird to me. Where there's Trevor Noah was like, "Oh yeah, America's dying."
Well, is he American? Is it his problem, really?
No, but the fact that he was literally saying like, "Hey, America's in trouble. Hey, America's fucked."
That's what they want. They
What
find
the
it funny.
fuck? Yo.
They find it funny. This is what they want.
This is the purge situation.
Yeah. And they know
Wow.
they're going to be fine because no one will do shit to them. Everyone will be too busy killing their neighbors.
It's like it was very uncanny. I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but hopefully you guys can understand what I was feeling when that was happening. It's uh, like you don't clearly understand, or you do, or you don't care, or you just refuse to understand what's going on with the common folk. And that is just terrifying.
Well, I don't think there's a bunch of different factors. Number one, if they do understand, they don't care because it doesn't affect them, or at least so they believe. They won't
Right.
see it as a problem from the common folk, much like they didn't see the peaceful protests as a problem until the peaceful protests came to their neighborhood. And then security had to be called up right away.
Peaceful protest.
That's the thing.
Right.
They see it as perfectly fine because they don't think it's ever going to affect them.
I definitely agree, man. I agree.
And then on the other hand, then there's the let them eat cake mentality. Like, these people are so disconnected from actually having to like actually struggle in life that they can't even imagine. Like, how many of these people at that meeting had ever imagined what it would be like to go on public transportation?
Probably like 1%, maybe two, because they were old enough to even experience that. Probably
Yeah, no. How many do you think have any idea what it's like on the New York subway?
1%, less than 1%.
Yeah, not a very large part of their demographic.
Lion and MGTOW, they are trying to manufacture the will of the people, which is downright terrifying. Because once I heard about the Ministry of Truth, I'm like, okay, we are in big trouble.
Oh, and to be fair, like they've kind of earned the right to be a bit arrogant about that. Like we've seen how easily people will do absolutely ridiculous fucking things if A, they believe there's a threat, and B, they can appear virtuous by appearing to like avoid it.
Exactly. I agree. And now that there's people that were like, hey, this group of people are going to control what you should or should not look at or think about. Okay. It's pretty okay. I don't want to go too base because I definitely get in trouble. I was about to say something crazy, but in the end, the fact that the administration even has to create a group like that for quote unquote misinformation is the biggest red flag that you should ever even see. Okay.
I didn't even think that they had to. I think that they just could. They're just seeing how far they can push it.
No, I'm sure they had to, because there's a lot of shit that people are calling them out on right now, and it is getting worse. Especially once again, Elon Musk buying Twitter. Also, Sleepy Joe's son with Ukraine in his laptop. Also, midterms are coming up.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, why did they need to make a government-operated Ministry of Truth? Like, they basically own the fact checkers. It's like you already own the private industry of this. Why did you need to make a public industry version of the exact same thing?
And it's crazy how people. Okay, how can you be a fact checker? Fact checker should be a third person party, right? Not the person who has control of the entire entity of information should determine if something is factual or not.
But that's
that
the thing.
When it
was Snopes or PolitiFact, they had plausible deniability as, oh no, that's not us, the government. That's a neutral third party that is making these statements. Like we have no say in what a neutral third party says. Now it's a government. Now, like, basically the only people that don't smell this as bullshit are the ones who don't care.
Oh yeah, they're happy to be living under the government's thumb.
Like that's the thing. At this point, it's not even about the people who like are unaware or stupid. This isn't something that you need to be intelligent to see. It is just straight up people don't care.
Yep, don't care, too tired to care, or they're in the position where they're in power right now, per se, in the sense of their status in society, right?
They don't even have to be high status in society. They just have to be comfortable enough in their status quo.
Yeah, well, yeah, what I'm saying is a person of Caucasian is treated a lot less than a person from the alphabet community or a minority right now.
Well, that depends what circles they run in.
Like I said,
alphabet there's plenty of the Caucasian peoples that aren't. There's plenty of the Caucasian people that aren't at all in competition with the alphabet community.
No, but the fact that they get demonized just for being Caucasian in 2022.
I think they don't care. like there's a bunch of people who aren't on the internet either probably because they don't know how, and they don't get any more technologically advanced than the television or radio or maybe Facebook on their phone, and that's about it. And they don't run in any circles where they even are remotely aware of the demonization, nor do they care to seek it out because they're too busy with other parts of their lives.
But that's the craziest part, though, right? Because it's been happening for years now that a person from the Caucasus Mountains, I'm trying to make up different nicknames, but they're walking around California with a MAGA hat, and they're at high risk of getting bodily harm solely because they're white and they're wearing a MAGA hat. That's it. Like that's it. Like what? But they don't know what to do if a minority was doing the same thing. And this has been happening for a long time now, where a person that's Caucasian that is not for the liberal agenda, they get completely ostracized, demonized, reputation ruined, all that stuff. Especially when you say, hypothetically, right now, yeah, I'm against abortion. Bam! People will be flooding your social media to find out who you are, dox the hell out of you, and try to ruin you just because they didn't like what you said. You know, that's the messed up part. They're the people that have the high status right now.
But that's the thing. But those things don't matter to people who don't live in cities, aren't politically active in any way, and like don't really care. Like they just live in their own day-to-day bubble, and they don't care about anything other than their immediate family members and where their next paycheck is coming from and their next vacation. Like that's all they care about. They don't give a shit about any of this. They don't care if they're oppressed. Their life has not been affected by it yet, and they won't care until it is.
Living in the country is one thing, but in the city, even saying I don't care will get you into some heat as a Caucasian person.
Well, like, let's be honest, where's the majority of the LGBTQ and the non-white demographics? Are they more in the country and suburbs, or are they mostly in the city?
But that's why I said that if you're in the country, yeah, I agree. But in the city, it won't. It doesn't matter if you just don't care as a Caucasian. If they find out that you don't care,
no, but that's the thing. But I'm pointing out that by the numbers, a large amount of Caucasian people who should care about this don't, because it's not affecting them yet, because they don't live in an area where it affects them yet.
Well, you'd be surprised how many suburban people, they're very high and mighty about this, especially the Ukraine situation, right? If you say you don't care about the Ukraine, you don't care about the alphabet community agenda, you don't care about the Democratic, you're just as liable of getting verbally attacked.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's it. If you say you don't care to a bunch of people who do care, if you just don't say anything on the topic, most people just assume you're for it, or you just pay basic lip service to it.
Well, yeah. Of course, the person ain't gonna go out there saying like I don't care, but if a person, approaches them, right? Because it could be even one of the friends as well, talking about the issue, and they're like, oh, so what do you think about this? If you just stay quiet or just shrug your shoulders or whatever, they're like, oh, okay, I see where you stand.
But that's the thing. But like, you'd have to. That's the thing. These people wouldn't run with that level of crazy to begin with. Like, these are people who don't have a massive social circle of highly politically active people. It's a very specific bubble. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't affect a decent sized portion of the population. I'm pointing out that a large portion of the population, particularly the wealthier, better well-off people, they're not affected by this because they've got their life and they literally have no reason to care yet.
See, but it gets to that point where it spreads in all annals of society of their agenda. Right, because it's not just in public; it's in the media, it's in the churches.
Oh, eventually it will. But this thing, you can try to tell them this; they don't care. I've tried; they don't care. They're more pissed off that you're trying to tell them how fucked they're going to be than they are about getting fucked over.
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing. I do agree with you saying that they ain't going to care until it affects them personally, right? That's a lot. That's pretty much the entire feminist movement and Western women in general, right? They don't really give a shit about male issues until it affects them personally. But
just think about all the married men who don't give a shit about the modern dating scene. It's like, oh, you just gotta find the right one. Oh, well, I got a wife that's decent enough to me and didn't divorce me, so I don't need to care about the larger issue.
See, and that's
they're gonna fucking care when their goddamn retirement dries up because there's no fucking taxpayers. They'll care then, but they won't care until then.
That's a big thing. The people that decide to go their own way, I commend them, right? They don't go on the internet and try to teach the younger generation. They don't try to go date anymore. They're just out there doing their own thing. But when it comes to just in society in general, especially within the last 10 years, holy fuck, it's getting to the point where you can't escape it. You know, especially as a Caucasian person, you just can't escape it. You know, I'm good. I'm able to go down the street and talk about all this crazy stuff, and it would be way less likely for me to be confronted. You know, but unfortunately, in 2022, Caucasian people, they have to walk on eggshells very carefully. Because right now, the people that don't care, they're the complete minority right now, in my opinion.
Well, the people that don't care about the larger issue, yeah.
Yeah, they're the minority right now. But in general, unfortunately, unless you live in the big old country, with the cows and the sheep and stuff, you can't really escape per se this liberal agenda. So unless you got great resilience, eventually you'd be like, what the fuck?
I don't know, just the level of apathy that I've encountered. Because I've moved to a lower population area recently.
Good choice.
Yeah. But I've definitely encountered a level of apathy towards this kind of situation, and looking at these people's lives, like, I get it. They're not plugged in. They're not aware. They don't care because their world is so small that the long-reaching effects haven't gotten to them yet. Like, it's not, they don't necessarily have pride flags in their elementary schools. And even if they did, they wouldn't know because they're that uninterested in their kids' lives so far as that's concerned. They're basically just going through the motions of life without any larger awareness. Kind of an NPC thing.
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but it's sad that one of my good friends of mine, he's one of the people that got attacked because he says that he is not a fan of Transformers. When I say that, he is not attracted to that, and he got fucking demonized. Like, what? So literally, and he's a good dude. Like, he doesn't tread on other people's shoes and stuff, blah blah blah. But when he was not confronted, but when he was approached by a group of girls, one of them was Transformers, man in disguise, whatever, and when they ask him a question, like, oh, what do you think about, Transformers? He's like, I'm not attracted to them. They completely fucking, well, what do you mean? Oh, she's a woman. Blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that's not a woman. A woman that I want has ovaries or in the vajayjay. Oh, but she's a woman. All right. How dare you? Okay, why you so discriminatory against this person that identifies as there's the woman here is no more different than a woman that has a birth canal. Okay, he's like, what the fuck? Like, what?
Wait, well, that's the thing. But then you're like, but then that's where you turn around and go like, wait, so you're arguing that sexual preferences are a choice and not genetic?
He was too confused to even ask that, but I agree, Gray. I agree.
Like that's the thing. Like, in basically, in saying that you are making a conscious choice to not like a certain that certain kind of person, you are arguing that one's sexual preferences are a conscious choice and not, as they were arguing before with the LGBTQ movement, that it's genetic and can't be helped.
Oh man, I need to. Should I make a live stream about that here? Fuck.
You know that shit's gonna get torn to fucking pieces.
Yeah,
unless you use you would have to use so many fucking code words like in the title alone.
I will have to most likely take that to Odyssey because I wanna take that shit apart, like piece by piece, because you're already being too base, Gray, with your logic. Okay. Oh lordy, like it's like. Okay, wait, hold up. I'll wait till Odyssey. But in all seriousness, though, the audacity of today's society, right? It is completely changed. It's completely bold that because I know that the Caucasian population is decreasing per se. Or that's what I read recently.
Probably on a statistical level, yes.
Like soon, I think by 2040 or 50, the Caucasian community will be the minority.
Is that factoring in the metric shit ton of migrants hopping the border every day?
They didn't say, but I would say.
Because like that's the kind of numbers I was hearing before the border crisis. So as for what it is now, I'd be shocked if the timeline didn't jump up a lot.
Supposedly, when it comes to the border crisis, Sleepy Joe might face impeachment soon over that.
Yeah, all right.
That's what I'm reading.
All right, Kamala Harris, first female president coming up.
I called it. Did I call it before? Okay. I said that pretty sure it was Eisenhower. Correct me if I'm wrong. That told that little girl that because it was in a speech, right? That he was talking to a bunch of kids, and the kids like, "Oh, when are we going to have a female president?" He said the only way he could see a female president being president is if the current male president gets removed from office or he dies, and the female vice president takes over.
Okay, do we have a death pool open, by the way? Because that's the thing. It might be that he dies in office first.
His health ain't looking too good right now.
You know that if they wanted him to die, he could die any day, and it would look totally natural.
Oh, of course, or just pull a Kennedy.
No, that. I think they'd like to pull a Kennedy. I don't think that they have the belief, like.
But in all seriousness,
there's too much opportunities that have gone by. I don't think that they could realistically pull a Kennedy on him.
That is true, but in all seriousness, unless he is removed from office or die, Eisenhower predicted that that's what's going to happen. I believe that's going to happen. I believe it. I don't think that Biden's going to last the next couple of years. He is deteriorating more and more. I'm seeing a lot more videos of Biden. I see a lot more videos of Biden being a bimbo every day when it comes to him and his speeches. He can't even form a complete, coherent sentence.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Now I've got that. Okay, so let's say he's removed from office for whatever reason. Kamala gets in. Is it going to be Kamala versus Trump or Hillary versus Trump? 2020, like that's the thing. 2024 gets really interesting. Now, it is entirely possible that both of them kick it.
It'll be Hillary.
Actually, it could be best of both worlds. It could be that Biden kicks it naturally, and then they pull a Kennedy on Kamala.
But it'll be Hillary. It'll be Hillary.
So that's the thing.
I don't want to emphasize more on that situation.
So yeah, that's what's got to fucking happen.
Yeah, I don't want
Kamala needs Biden to be alive.
I don't want to emphasize too much more on that. But just to let you know, I believe it'll be Hillary versus Trump.
No, and you know that Hillary's not going to accept being VP, which means that
what's it called? It will be because Kamala Harris already knows that her popularity is not good at all.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But she'd be the existing power, and she won't have served enough terms to be like, well, you can't run for a third term in office. Therefore, we need to wipe the slate clean, like with Obama. So
I think they can serve up to 10 years. I'm looking at
it. But that's the thing. But she won't be able to serve 10 years before Trump versus Hillary round 2.
Oh, I looked it up. 10 years.
That's the thing. So she could technically serve out 2 years of Biden plus 8 years of herself, meaning that there's going to be no DNC unless she dies or is impeached while in office. There won't be another election for the Democratic candidate. It will by default be the existing president or vice president that became president versus the incumbent. So Hillary can't run so long as both Biden and Kamala are still capable of running.
Or steps down.
She could do that. That is true.
It will be in her best interest because she knows herself. There's no way she's going to beat Trump. There's no way.
It doesn't matter whether she can beat Trump. It's a matter of whether or not she can survive Hillary, because Hillary wants another round against Trump.
Oh, one more time. I could see her going one more time in 2024.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hillary's going to go one more time in 2024, and anyone who stands in her way is going to mysteriously develop depression.
Yep, and yeet themselves from 6 feet away with a shotgun.
They're going to hang themselves with toilet paper while the cameras are off.
Toilet paper.
Pretty sure that's how Epstein went out.
Toilet paper?
I think it was toilet paper, yeah.
How does he hang himself with toilet paper?
Don't ask questions, Yeetus.
It just... I have to... wait a minute. I have to get in the philosophical pose. I have to put my fist on my chin for a second. I'm like, toilet paper. What? But in the end, what's going on in society today? I feel bad for people from the Caucasus Mountains. You guys are getting the worst of it right now.
Yeah, well, I don't feel as bad for them because I've tried. They don't care. Like, all right, if your attitude's going to be fuck you, I got mine, then that's going to be my attitude when you need fucking help.
Right. And a lot of people, they really believe that, and especially the people that I'm around, a lot of them, besides 4 or 5, really believe that there's nothing going on right now. Nothing bad. Like, how Like you just refuse. Like you're in denial right now.
That's the thing. They are like they legit believe that all these fucking price increases will be fixed once the interest rates go back up.
Hell no. Hell, this is what they intended.
That's the thing. Like they're looking at all these prices and they're going, oh, well, it's this. There's this factor and this factor. It's not as bad here, and it can be managed with that. And it's like, motherfucker, you have no clue. You have no clue, and you don't want to have a clue because you don't need to have a clue, or so you think.
I agree. I definitely agree. And when things get to the point where Social Security is going to dry, because here's the thing: how else are they going to be paying back the stimulus checks?
That's the thing. They're so going to write like Social Security. If it won't be cut, then everything's going to be so expensive that it will be rendered completely useless.
Exactly. And when it comes to I heard recently, and I'm talking about world events, right? Germany will advocate for Finland and Sweden if they want to join NATO. I know it's left field, but I just read that today. I'm like, you stupid fucks. Stupid.
Yeah.
Like, now NATO's literally at Russia's border. What do you think is going to happen next?
I think they want the war to escalate.
We will save that for Odyssey.
Yeah.
Whew, I got a lot to say. Actually, you know what? I don't know how to stream on Odyssey, but if I have time today, I'm going to stream on Odyssey. So if you guys want to support your boy Sir Yeetus and the Warband, go ahead in the description and click on the Odyssey link and subscribe to the channel, okay? And on top of that, if you want to send some shekels, go ahead and click on the link on top of the chat. PayPal.me/Sir Yeetus or Cash App/Sir Yeetus. All donations appreciated. And if you want some raw and uncut videos, go to Odyssey, because you already know I can't really say much here, unfortunately. It is a lot of things I really want to say. I'm pretty sure Gray will be there as well if he has time.
Oh yeah,
so we will definitely get to that point. There was something else that I want to talk about today that was just straight up insane. I know there's something else, but I kind of forgot. Gray, while I try to remember, do you have anything else you want to speak on?
I guess with Clown World in particular.
Well,
I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It's a weird sort of duality I've found, because it's incredibly disheartening. See, so many people that claim like they're compassionate, that will show outwardly compassion to strangers, but then when something requires more than money being sent away or some kind words posted, then all of a sudden they'll start making excuses. People otherwise intelligent and well off, they don't give a shit. It's like they only became successful for their own egos, and that's where it ended. It's like, I got mine, I'm successful, you should be impressed that I'm successful. Now fuck off, I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to give you some vague general advice that you could get out of any self-help book.
Only sleep 2 hours a day.
Well, you just got to have grit and determination and dedication and discipline. Like, Yeah, no fucking shit. I read that motivational poster too.
Buy my book. I'm like, what? Buy my courses.
Like, how do I get into your position? Well, you need to go back in time and you need to make better decisions financially. Uh-huh.
Now give me $1,000.
Or even just like, even free advice. It gets to the point where it's like, well, you just need to start investments in the stock market. It's like, yeah, okay. I need a little bit of money that could go into the stock market to begin with.
Or tell me where to invest.
Well, I was thinking, and they're like, well, you hire someone to invest for you and choose like mid-level guaranteed risk. Like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They just pay someone else to do it for them and think that they're the smart ones.
Pretty much, man. They really believe that they're hot shit and above all the rest because they got lucky, or like what you just said, they have somebody that's an expert that does it for them. They don't want to go out there like they're some fucking inspirational guru and shit.
And I'm not saying that there isn't a level of intelligence. Like, you could give $50,000 to a bunch of different people, and some people that should disappear in a fucking week. There's tons of people that just blow through insanely huge paychecks with nothing to fucking show for it. So I can understand if that's the metric that they're comparing themselves to, then yes, absolutely. But then it's like, no, there's people who want to make smart decisions, are intelligent enough to make smart decisions, but they don't know how to get to the point. It's like someone says like, well, you could be like Jeff Bezos, because like he started just selling shit online through eBay. It's like, motherfucker, Jeff Bezos got like 50,000.
He got lucky.
He also got like a fucking 6-figure startup cash.
Right.
They tend to forget the fucking massive upfront cash investment. These aren't people who started off fucking saving their pennies and then begged for a $5,000 loan to work out of the back of their car, which they picked up out of a fucking junkyard and rebuilt by hand.
Have you noticed a lot of these companies, they started in garage?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I don't know what's up.
Funny, how many fucking people nowadays have access to a fucking garage that isn't their parents' house? Like, oh, it started in a garage. Like, wait, you mean they had a house with a garage?
What? I had to go to a storage unit. Oh shit! But in all seriousness, with today's society, I have another thing that was irking the hell out of me. I'm sure you guys definitely heard this before. Excuses as a man. Excuses. See, there's a difference between legitimate reasons and excuses. Would you agree, Gray?
Yes. And those two do often get confused. Like, there's plenty of people who could be putting themselves out there and taking some shots, but they make excuses like, I'm not ready, it doesn't feel right, I'm uncertain. And a lot of it is an excuse to protect the ego from failure. So there is that aspect to it, no questions.
I'm sick and tired of men. All right. Now I'm talking about a certain type of men. Bitching, complaining, moaning. Ooh, this, which will get to my next point. Like, oh my God, this and that. Oh my God. Yet they put themselves in the exact same situation. Gray, can you go to my community tab and bring it up if it's possible?
Yeah, I should be able to. 2 seconds.
Because I gotta show a couple things. Because it really irked the hell out of me how there's men out there like, oh, women ain't shit, women ain't that, oh, all women are 304s, blah, blah, blah. But they bring it onto themselves. can you go to the mugshot of the lady's mugshot?
The Texas woman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then can you go to the comments?
You mean the top pinned comment?
Yeah, can you bring that up right quick, please?
Yeah,
because
like
I'm gonna go on a rant.
Yeah, 1 second. I'll switch to the browser.
It irks the hell out of me. I don't give a fuck how y'all feel when it comes to this. When you bitch and moan about something, but then you put yourself in that situation anyway, you lost any type of sympathy, apathy, empathy, whatever the fuck it is. You lost everything from me. Okay. It's like saying, "Oh, the divorce is horrible. Divorce and this, and divorce is that," and then next week you go ahead and put a ring on a bitch that you only met for a week.
All right, I'll just get us zoomed in.
Sir Yeetus summons his inner Senator Armstrong.
Oh God. Okay.
Nano machine, son.
All right.
VCam. Hey, what the hell's going on? Oh.
Yeah, no, that was a different virtual camera.
All right, I'm gonna bring you up right quick. So what's the let's go to the meme. Texas woman arrested for trying to bribe deputy with sexual acts. So do you think that's a very 304 thing to do? Not Brandon. Gray. My bad. Do you think that's a very 304 thing to do?
Like that. The only thing more 304 to do is to try to Me Too the deputy.
Which happened countless times, and I'm sure you saw videos.
Yeah. Free Ross, that was VCam for animes. I've been experimenting with like some VTuber model stuff. So
you will say it's a good thing that a man that's able to practice their D discipline is a man that is incorruptible when it comes to sex.
I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, she's fucking done up to the nines here, and she still only manages to look like a 6.
She's a 5 at best, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't take very much. Now, this same deputy, that's the thing. Just because he was able to have fucking D discipline with this one woman, does not mean he is incorruptible.
But what I'm saying, at least when it comes to sex
with this particular woman,
or just anything.
I say it's good. I say it's good in general, but I'm not going to give this deputy credit and say that he's incorruptible paragon.
I doubt he'll risk his job for some puniti. At least when it comes to puniti, I give him props. Because when it comes to puniti, I'll definitely give him props.
Yeah. Well, this one anyway. My opinion of cops has gone down quite a bit, so I'm going to be a cynical bastard.
Well, I'm just talking about this person in particular, because if you go up, right, and she's offering an easy lay, I'm sure plenty of men would say no. No. Plenty of men would say yes, right? Too easy. All right, I don't have to buy you stuff. I don't have to take you somewhere expensive. You just give it up right now. Oh, snap. Okay, too easy. But the guy's like, nah, bitch, get in the fucking car. Like, I will always give a man props that is like, you know what? Hey, Jezebel, you ain't taking my spirit today.
Yeah. I give props for this incident, but again, she's like a 5 at best to you. If she was a 9... the pool of men who would say no shrinks the hotter the woman gets.
But like what Francesco said, can you go up one more time? Not worth your job. I agree. One little puniti is not worth your whole livelihood, your reputation, and you going to jail. She can easily me to you, okay? And to also point out, look at her. Where you going? Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. Just look.
That's fucking like
the 1,000 slong stare.
And probably intoxicated on top of that.
True. But both I will incorporate, okay? Under the influence, and clearly the stare, the 1,000 slong stare, that she is willing to give it up to a random cop so she won't get in trouble. If that was my daughter, she would definitely not be allowed in my family anymore.
To be fair, if she's got the 1,000 schlong stare, giving it up to get out of a crime is probably one of the more practical things she'd attempt to give it up for.
True, but she's
probably giving it up. She's probably giving it up for a line of Coke. Let's be honest.
Or a half-eaten sandwich at Subway. But in the end, if I ever catch my daughter doing that, if I have a daughter, I don't have a daughter, she would definitely be yeeted from the family. There's no fucking way. You know.
Yeah. At that point, it's going to be like, you are not just out of this house. You are stricken from the fucking record. I am taking away your name. I am burning your goddamn birth certificates.
Like in Invincible, what 17 more years? I can always try again. Make another kid.
To be fair, with a man, you can.
I'm just saying, when it comes to starting over, a man can always start over. Always. Always.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Like you get to 85, you might be shooting blanks by that point.
But there's men that's hitting their 70s and 80s still having kids.
That's the thing. Like I'm saying, like by the time you hit 70, that's probably where like you're starting to hit your biological wall. Don't know for sure, but I'd consider a man at 70 to be the equivalent of a man at 30, of a woman at 30, if that makes sense.
Hey, that's the word. Hey, the fact that he's still able to do his thing at 70 and 80, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And hell, if he has money, he'll go do all that sciencey stuff to get another child.
Oh yeah, God knows what it's going to be like in fucking 50 to 60 years.
But yeah, let's scroll down. Here's a bigger issue. So I pinned this comment, right? Because it pissed me off how many of you motherfucking simps don't know how to keep you in your goddamn pants, right? Which will enable all these women's behavior to continue. Okay? I wish I was that deputy. She had never been arrested. How thirsty can you get? How down bad can you get? I'll be right back, Greg. Go ahead, continue. Just give me 1 minute. 1 minute.
It actually gets me curious on the other end of it. So, I'd actually like to get some opinions from the chat on this. Suppose it had been a Chad getting arrested, like criminal Chad and shit. And it was a female saying, I wish I was that deputy. He never would have been arrested. I don't know, like objectively, you think that we should still react with that level of disgust, like the idea that a female would let a attractive male criminal go for the sake of getting some D, but I don't know, I guess we don't really have a large number of females in the chat. But that's the thing, God, you got to wonder how many. That's the thing. At the same time, how many female cops would even have the option? Like a female cop without a partner is not exactly going to be taking down like criminal Chad solo to begin with.
No, I mentioned that in one of my affirmative action live streams. Affirmative action is trash.
This thing, you can't even like do a proper gender reverse case on this, because like a male cop versus a 5 out of 10 female, like the male cop like has the option of physically overpowering her. He's already in a superior position. A female cop versus criminal Chad, like he's in a superior position. Unless she's got backup or actively has him at distance gunpoint and is in an optimal position, she's kind of fucked.
But I doubt Chad will say no. I doubt it.
Well, no, that's the thing. Like I wonder, we've seen what happens when a female unexpectedly encounters a non-hostile male. Like she'll absolutely go for the fucking gun and shoot him dead without asking any questions.
True, like that one lady that mistaken a taser for a gun.
Yeah, or the other cop that walked into the wrong apartment thinking it was hers and shot the black dude sitting at sitting at his own kitchen table.
I still don't believe that was a mistake, personally.
No, probably not, but she got away with it because vagina, so.
Yep, pretty much. But it just irks the fuck out of me because it's not just about this situation, but in all aspects of society, there's men like that off the radar say, oh, I wish I was a deputy. She would never have been arrested. So you're literally excusing her behavior and enabling her behavior solely because you can't think with your big head. You keep thinking with your little head.
I mean,
that's the issue with all these sips.
Well, and the other thing is that I kind of want to like grab my lapels as like, it's not that I think you're disgusting. I know you don't give a shit. Women think you're fucking disgusting for saying this. They won't say it because they might want to take advantage of you someday, but they absolutely think you are a disgusting piece of shit, not worthy of respect.
Exactly. She'll dry up like the Sahara Desert. Like, you really think that that's going to fly in person? Hell no.
Like, she will get wetter for the man who fucking sticks to his principles and arrests her than the one who indulges her.
Exactly. And the women that's going to take advantage of a guy like this is usually for these Twitch thoughts or OnlyFans.
Heck, you'll just be a fucking club girl. Like that's I have more respect for the fucking Twitch thoughts and OnlyFans girls than the ones who give it away for free at the club.
True.
Like, if you're gonna fucking hoe out, at least make some fucking money off of it.
Right, which is why I say at times it's not even. I'm not even trying to blame the women 100% of the time. It's men like this, that women believe that what they're doing is okay, and they're going to continue to do it. Okay.
Yeah, because like, believe me, if this girl was fucking on Twitch or OnlyFans, we'd know.
Oh, we'll definitely know. And the crazy part is, that'd be the very same man that will come over to the Red Pill MGTOW community. He's talking about, oh, you know, women ain't shit, women at that. She burned me. She did this, she did that. But let's go look back at your comments. Look at your symmetry right here.
That's the thing. Like, they fucking simp, then they get burned, then they jump into the red pill rage, try to gain some fucking clout in the community, and then they pull a General Kinetics, get a girlfriend, and start disavowing the whole thing.
I forgot about the dude. I really did forget about him.
Yeah, not Hermit posted a fucking short about this. Like, I don't recommend watching it unless you have some brain bleach handy, because oh my god, I'm amazed she could walk with that much fucking fat. I think she weighed 3 times what I do.
Oh, wait. Does he have a picture?
She's got video, man.
Island Hermit has a video?
It's a fucking short, yeah. He's been fucking finger banging the algorithm with like YouTube Shorts lately.
Wait. I know him actually has an actual video of his girl.
It's not literally his girlfriend, but it's not literally, but it's just this fucking really fat broad trying to get into a car and brushing it off. And dude, she's like 350 pounds.
Ugh.
Like, I don't know what 400 looks like, but she is at least 350. And it's amazing that she's even capable of walking.
See, and that's the biggest issue, right? The society enables them to get this big, get this fat. Okay, not only physically, but everything else that she deals with. Most modern women in general are lazy. They're lazy.
This is the crazy thing. I've lived in a fair number of places in Canada. Never in my life have I physically seen a woman that fat.
Well, I'm from the Black community, so I have, unfortunately. Just put it out there.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know if you're okay. Like, here's the thing. We're talking about what. Yeah, you know what? You might have, because it basically looks like it looks like she's wearing a fucking fat suit.
Ugh. You know the movie called Norbit?
I've heard of it. The movie that came to mind was I think Big Mama's House.
Martin Lawrence. I'm assuming you don't know who that is, but he's a very funny dude.
No, I'm so familiar with Martin Lawrence. I was just look up the. You know what? Yeah, I'd say it's comparable, but she felt even bigger. I seriously just look up if you feel fucking brave, or you're sick to your stomach and you gotta puke.
Pussy. I see. He deleted all his videos again.
What, Kinetics did?
Yeah. Boy. Wow.
Oh God! If you can't take the heat, don't fuck with the Warband.
Pussy. Wow, bro. Wow. God, I hate fucking hypocritical, weak ass goddamn grifters. Are you serious?
Hey, look, maybe if we're really lucky, she'll sit on his face and put him out of his misery.
Oh, like that one black dude that had his white BBBW girl sit on him and I can't breathe. I can't. I'm pretty sure she tried to kill him.
Yeah, no, like let's be honest. There's only two ways that those guys could go out with any sort of happiness, and that's either sit on their face, or they actually manage to get a girl who works out, who crushes their head like a watermelon.
This dude was talking mad shit about me, Ribby, and Undead Chronic, and he deletes everything. But he got exposed. Okay, not only you took off MGTOW off your name, motherfucker. Now you want to say, oh, Chronic is breeding a bunch of incels. But then we find out that you claim you're MGTOW, but you have a whole ass girlfriend. So which one is it? Which one? Because clearly, I am surprised that you even have a girlfriend in the first place. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, to be fair, if he has money to throw around, you can get a woman who will see you on a regular basis and maybe occasionally spread her legs for you. That's the thing. We don't know what defines a girlfriend to him. It could just be a woman willing to put up with me for an extended period of time.
Oh, one fast stack and everybody else, we talk about some real shit. So that means you clearly only watch 1 or 2 videos of Undead Chronic. Oh, and one fast stack is a big fan of the Warband. Uh-oh. That contradicts your statement now, does it? It's insane. Like what? What do you think you're talking about? You just huddling around saying, "Fuck women, fuck women." No, the Warband does not hate women. All right. In fact, in fact, there's plenty of times I'm sure you saw and the chat saw where women calling into the show. Are we assholes?
No, and that's the thing. And then when we're not assholes to women, they say we're simping for them. It's like, the Warband's all simping for good mother. It's like, so what is it? Do they hate women or do they simp for women? Which does the Warband do?
It goes from one extreme to another. What? So you telling me that because she has an axe wound between her legs, we have to be a dick to them? No, no. Unless they give us a reason to be assholes, why be an asshole to somebody?
That's the thing. Like, whoever calls in, we have no idea, like, who they are. We'll just go with like what they tell us who they are. We've had women call in who say they're virgins. We have no proof. We're not gonna fucking grill them on it. We're just gonna take them at face value and give advice in accordance with how they've presented themselves.
Exactly. A lot of men, especially people that are watching our channels, watching our live streams, you need to understand, all right? The Warband is not about hating women, okay? We do not hate women. That defeats the entire purpose. We're not these fucking radical feminists out here. We're not. The only thing we're doing is calling out on their bullshit, their decisions, their behavior, but we do not hate them as a whole.
And that's the thing.
It's like hating a dog for being a dog.
It can't even really. It's not even that the Warband hates women who act like fucking foolish and stupid. Like, we just don't give them any special treatment. And again, we don't drag them near as hard as we do the fucking dudes. Like, the Warband hates fucking simps way more than they hate hoes.
I agree. Simps are on my hit list a lot harder than the women in general. Women, I fucking, yeah, they do some stupid shit, but these men, these simps, they should know better. That's why when you see my simp videos, I'm a lot worse on them than on the women. All right, because women, they will always have a safety net at the end of the day, no matter how many bad decisions or behaviors that they commit. But when it comes to a man that decides to be a simp, it only takes one move and it's game over.
You know, I think that actually brings up something. Do women who participate in the manosphere, do they call out simps as hard as the Warband?
Nope, they call out other red pill channels or whatever other.
That's the thing. I've heard them call out women quite a bit and try to hold women accountable. I think that simps would be far stronger affected by a woman calling them out as disgusting pieces of shit. Because that's who they care about the opinion of.
Yeah, they don't call it the simps. Like Roma Army, for example. I love how they're crusading for Roma Army to the death. But do you really... Okay, great. I'm going to ask you right now. And I'm going to ask the chat. Can a woman be red pilled? In my opinion, no. Chat, put a 1. Type in a 1 if you believe women can be red pilled. Put a 2 if you believe women cannot be red pilled. In my opinion,
that's the thing.
Women cannot be red pilled.
Like, this is where I end up being an asshole and have to get into a really nuanced definition.
What do you mean by that? See, I've seen nothing.
Can a woman like hold and spread a red pill message? I think I've seen enough examples to say yes. Could they necessarily develop it, take it further, and expand on it in the same capacity that men do? No.
So you're saying that they're echo chambers?
They're vessels, yes. Like, they're going to, like, they will act in their self-interest. They will adapt to the subset of society that they believe gives them the best level of support. But they are not going to bring anything new to the table.
And that's where my issue is. I've noticed there's a couple of female channels that they claim that they're red pilled. I'm like, how can you be red pilled? How can you be red pilled? Clearly, like what the previous comment said, do you really believe that they're going to be advocating for male issues? Truly, really? Like, come on.
I think I can only think of one, and she was a much older woman. But I also don't know her history or involvement in the stuff around her, so I have no idea how she got to that position.
She became older and hit the wall at the speed of light.
Yeah, and then there's also, like, just because you're in disagreement with modern feminism doesn't necessarily you're going to go back and revoke the 19th.
But here's my issue. How are you going to talk about a space or male issues and you're not a male that went through these issues in the first place?
I think that there's some benefit to a female mouthpiece for a collective of male issues.
Not
they can never. Well, no, not Roma Army. I'm talking about, like, the actual good faith actors, not the fucking, like, red pill branded Twitch thoughts.
Yeah, they're only doing it for clout and attention. That's all. That's
the thing. I do separate them. I would separate them out, but finding one that I could actually authentically say, I have never one that I could say is red pilled, near to the extent that, like, someone like Terrence Pop or Hammerhand or TFM or any member of the Warband, really. Like, I haven't met a woman that I could say, yeah, they're red pilled on the same level. It's always to a lesser degree in the context of some kind of group, and at most they've heard about it or seen it secondhand. That's the thing, is like, you can't really expect them to be red pilled in the same way that you'd expect a man to be red pilled. The best you can hope for is that they simply follow what is necessary by it and are never incentivized to step away from it.
I don't think they're red pill at all, because if they were, right, in my opinion, they wouldn't have a bunch of tattoos and stuff like Roma Army. They wouldn't have a divorce and become a single mother like Roma Army. They wouldn't be promoting their OnlyFans like Roma Army. They wouldn't be.
That's the thing. I would not even consider Roma. If Roma Army is the standard that you'd hold every woman declaring herself to be red pill to, then no,
just Roma Army. I was about to go somebody else.
Like, that's the thing. But if it's like a fucking, like, Twitch thought or anywhere in the neighborhood of Roma Army, then no. Like, the only one I'm thinking of that I would say is even remotely authentically red pilled is, like, in her fucking 50s.
But that's the thing, though. Why did it take all the way up into her 50s for her to realize that she fucked up? Because I guarantee
doesn't
you.
even have to be that they fucked up.
Well, okay, how many married women can truly say that they are red pill or advocating for male issues?
That's the thing. I don't even know the marital status of this one woman. It might be one out of everything. It's one. I'm not using this as a generalization. I'm literally just trying to cherry pick the exceptions to point out, okay, there's maybe one, but even then, that's the closest it's ever gotten, and it's still nowhere near a man.
But like I'm saying to the chat, can women truly comprehend? Can women really put their feet into our shoes and clearly comprehend on why things are fucked up? No, because at least from what I see, there's countless women out there that are very silent, very quiet on today's issues when it comes to men, right? Because if it benefits them, why would they speak out on it? When it comes to divorce and family courts and alimony and child support and all that stuff, why will they speak out on it? Okay,
I don't think they could handle it.
here's why.
Well,
They only speak out on it when it affects them personally. That's it. When it affects them themselves in their personal life, that's when they start to talk about, oh, you women out here, you treating men out here badly, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what about the last 10 years when you were jumping on from Chad to Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray, Enrique, Muhammad, all that stuff? What happened then? Okay, but now that you're older, right, and you see the world for what it is, oh, you matured. Now you want to say that men are mistreated? Especially the women that divorced their husbands for the second, third, and fourth time and living on multiple alimony incomes. Now you care about men issues? There's a very, very small selective of women that are truly, truly empathetic towards what's happening to men today. In my opinion, 98, 99% of women in Western society, they are taking advantage or they're just keeping quiet so they can keep their reputation, pretty good. But when things start to affect them personally, because in my opinion, countless women, they can't really think outside their bubble. So when things start going inside their bubble, now they want to speak out. What do you want to say about that, Gray?
I think even assuming that 2% of the population is the exception is extremely generous.
Be right back, but continue. I'm gonna take a piss.
No, it's quite simple. They need to benefit from it. They're not going to advocate for it or even speak on it unless they can benefit from it, which means that most of their circle has to be men, for one. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves on the outs with their female friends. And for two, they need to not be benefiting from the current system, which usually means that they're older and can't exploit the simps. Or they have to rely on older simps who have their heads somewhat together. And that's the thing. There's degrees to it because there's plenty of men that'll have their guard up against a fucking Twitch thought or something, or a woman in her 30s and 40s. But then they run into even older women and they'll have the regular discussions and friendships or even enter into pseudo relationships with them. It's dude, I remember there's this one guy a while back, when I was first getting into the Red Rail. I think he was an Australian bloke, much older, was doing
Sydney Mitto?
No. He wasn't any of the big names. I forget exactly what it was. He was doing daily videos. And then partway through he mentions that he started talking to a woman and then got her to be the manager for his channel.
Give me 1 second. FTL, I do not drink soda. All right, go ahead, continue.
That's the thing. Like, he's talking all this red pill stuff, doing all this daily things, talking about the base of his life, and then partway through, he mentions that he started having regular discussions with a woman, told her about this, and that she's now kind of acting as the manager of his channel. And it's like, dude, what the fuck?
That's why, unless I get big for some reason, nobody's going to be a manager of anything of mine.
Yeah, no, it's just...
Because when I get too big, eventually I'm having no choice but to have somebody look after my channel.
You gotta get a producer Tim for the channel.
Fuck that. Hell no. Hell no. He's gonna make us some shroomophobe propaganda on my shit.
Well, that's the... Oh god, sorry. The fucking like producer Rishi subplot for this is something that we could go into, but I won't because there's too much.
And chat, when I get big, I'm gonna remember all the people that were with me in the beginning. Best believe. Okay.
But that's the thing that really it bugs me. Like, even these older guys who supposedly know better are trying to talk from life experience. Even they will then start to get in like more regular discussions with women, regularly co-host with women. And it's like, you have a metric shit ton of male content creators who would fucking kill to have your platform and be featured.
Give me a second. Carry on. You saying that I'm capping? Do you know how many times I let you on a live stream?
Or maybe he thinks you're capping that you don't drink soda. Now, to be fair, they didn't say you drank soda.
I was about to say, I thought you meant remembering the people that were with me in the beginning. No, I don't drink soda like that, actually. I used to when I was young and a lot more active, right? I can't believe I just said that.
Now,
but
to be fair, they didn't say that you drank soda. They just said that you pissed it.
What the fuck? That means I drink it.
None of that, man. Like, you can have some sort of...
I can't just piss soda.
Dude, you're a fucking skeleton that is on fire with green shit. The laws of normal biology do not apply.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Carrie, I was just saying, it's cool that I don't drink soda. I really don't drink soda like that. I was a big fan of sweets when I was like younger, probably because I was a lot more active. But now I rarely eat sweets anymore. Rarely. It's, I guess, the part of being older and having a different palate. Am I wrong, Gray?
I don't think so. Like,
I don't eat sweets. I really don't. No,
I do,
at least
but I also
not anymore.
Personally, like, I drink soda, but only because like I can't drink rum straight. I'm not that hardcore yet.
You don't drink rum on the rocks?
Oh man.
I understand you have to mix your drinks, but in all seriousness, yeah, I don't really drink soda like that. I don't eat sweets like that. None of that. I'm all about literally like beef, chicken, turkey, all that stuff, vegetables, carbs here and there, but I rarely have a taste for any type of sweets anymore. I used to be able to eat half a gallon or hell, almost a whole gallon of ice cream by myself.
Oh God, no.
When I was a teenager, and I was lean and mean, 6 packs and everything.
Yeah, no, fuck.
But now it's like, I'll take a bite, 2 bites, and I'm just done. If I was more active, maybe I'll eat more sweets. I think that might be the problem. But I like to have more of the foods that has a lot of not a lot, but a good amount of sodium in it.
That's not very good for you either, man. You gotta watch the fucking sodium levels.
That's why I changed it from a lot to
No, like, although honestly, yeah, there's some foods that are like, I would love that, but the sodium content is just insane.
It
Like,
is. It is.
Like, dude, I fucking love goddamn like fucking pepperettes, like fucking pepperoni sticks. Do you have any idea how much sodium is in those fucking pepperoni sticks?
Pepperoni sticks. Oh, I thought I said pepperoni steaks. I was like, pepperoni steaks.
I think that's just. I think a pepperoni steak is just a pork chop, honestly.
Well, for me, I also only eat like 1 to 2 meals a day, but I mainly only eat 1 meal a day. So I'm able to get away with the amount of sodium. And once again, I'm not like dumping the entire thing on there, but that 1 meal in itself, it will be sufficient when it comes to my sodium intake.
Dude, honestly, like from what I understand, like even fucking 2 pieces of low sodium bacon, bam, that's the daily amount of sodium that I should be having. It's like, motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah, I know it was surprisingly low. Like when I was talking to like a UFC fighter at the time, he gave me some nutrition advice. He was the first one who helped me realize I was taking in too much sodium, but he said like fucking 72 milligrams or something. It was insanely low. Like 1 piece of raw bacon is already too much.
I know about a legendary MMA fighter from the UFC. Actually, I go to his gym, but if I say his name, I'll be immediately doxxed. So just know that I know what he's. If I mention his name, it's over for me.
Yeah, so. No, don't. Yeah, don't. Funny thing is, the guy that I was talking to, like he actually does own the gym. Like he owns a gym. So
that'd be. What if the whole time we were in the same gym?
Like that's the thing. Like you mentioned, I was like, oh motherfucker, what if you're in his gym? Like
that would be such a coincidence.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say any more details because
but
like God damn.
I do see, once again, like my diet, it comprises of protein and fats, which I don't have to eat a whole amount because it already has a lot of calories in itself,
Yeah.
So instead of eating like, I need to eat all these bowls of rice and stuff, I only have to eat like 1 or 2 ribeye steaks.
Yeah, only 1 or 2 ribeye steaks. Jesus.
Well, there's different sizes.
True. I guess depending on that, I guess rib. When I hear steak, I immediately think T-bone. So
T-bone is ridiculously difficult to cook, in my opinion, especially on the grill. Man, it pisses me off.
Like, I measure it in like more like chicken breasts. Like how many chicken breasts would you say you eat in calories per day?
So when I do eat chicken for the day, I'll say 3. But that's if I work out like hardcore.
Yeah.
If I don't work out, it will be 2 chicken breasts.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Because on top of that, I don't really eat carbs as well. So it's pretty easy for me to ingest the chicken and with the herbs and spices and with any type of butter if I have any butter.
God damn, now I'm getting hungry.
See, it's difficult, right? Because once again, I lost a good amount of weight this past year, and I'm so close to getting to my shredded weight. Shredded.
Yeah, well, I got a bulk, so I got to eat a shit ton more.
Okay. Because I think I already talked to you about this before. Everybody in the chat right now, everybody in the chat, if you work out, and if you're trying to bulk, what advice will you give Gray when it comes to gaining muscle mass? What does he have to work out? What does he have to eat? Give Gray that advice. So I'm curious what you guys got to say. That's the only reason I'm asking this question. Gray is trying to get them gains. What does Gray have to do to swole? He has to swole up. What does he have to do, or what does he have to eat? Lots of protein, lots of healthy fat. I agree. I do the same thing. I do the avocado oil or the clarified butter. Drink more water. What do you mean? Okay, if he takes creatine, sure.
No, from what I've heard, water is actually very important in muscles. It's actually what the majority of an individual muscle cell is made of.
True, but creatine retains water and makes you look more swole.
Well, I'm not taking creatine. I was very, very firmly advised against creatine.
What? Creatine is one.
Like the UFC guy.
No. Creatine is one of the safest products you can take. Safer than pre-workout. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think I asked. That's what I was advised.
No, he's saying that because he has to meet a certain weight anyway. Because as an MMA fighter, they take their weight seriously in the sense of staying lean and mean. McDonald's? Yeah, but no. I want to say McDonald's.
Okay.
Shit ton of McChicken, sure.
What KFC? What about that one?
KFC?
That's the one. That's the one fast food place I will actually go to. Simply because it's basically it's protein.
So it's telling you eat broccoli, never skip mini trees. Yes, but no.
Really? I do actually go for the broccoli. Why would you say against it?
Eat a variety of vegetables.
Oh yeah, it's not just broccoli. I basically have a variety pack veggie tray.
Right. It was a joke. Okay. My bad. Tell me it's a joke. All right, put in parentheses, JK.
Funny, did you know that there is actually punctuation to indicate sarcasm?
Isn't it parentheses or what? What's up?
It's an upside down exclamation point at the front of the sentence.
Okay, nobody knows. Is that some Spanish shit? Like what?
No, like legit.
Nobody knows that. I guarantee you, I can walk down the street. Nobody knows that.
No, nobody knows that. But I looked it up one day because I was bored and I'm a nerd like that.
So, Brandon.
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. The irony punctuation, it's actually a backwards question mark.
Okay, but Brandon, a veteran, he says steak, cheese, peanut butter, and banana. What about that?
Yeah, that's fairly in line. I could probably have more steak. Like I go for the ground beef more, but I was peanuts and peanut butter or something I need to get into the habit of eating a lot more of. I know Chronic vouches for peanuts hardcore.
How does blood type affect weight loss? Never heard of that. That was just a fad, a trend. Your blood type does not affect your weight loss. It does not. I heard about the blood type diet. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Your genetics in general, yes, that affects it big time.
There might be some minuscule amount based on what markers are on your blood, but on the whole, I really couldn't see it affecting weight loss significantly.
Okay, so what about the genetics diet? Because according to where I come from, right? I'm partially Caucasian. I mean, like partially, like very small, right? Throughout the years, um, but I'm mainly from the sweet safari of Africa. I'm told to eat a bunch of grains and fruits and stuff to have a healthy diet. So, well, what do you think about that?
Hmm.
Genetic genetics diet,
There.
genetic diet.
Hmm. There may be something to it if it's very specific, like specific race. I could kind of see it if the body produces certain enzymes, but I think that the microbiome would be far more important than genetics.
Whoa. Let's slow down there. Let's slow down. What do you mean by that?
I mean that, like when you're a baby and you first, like you inherit a whole bunch of bacteria in your gut and intestines from your mother, and then like that's cultivated over your lifetime. Like you're constantly running like you've got basically a fucking ant farm of biology all the way from your mouth to your small intestine, and you're feeding it constantly with what you eat.
Okay.
So if you stick to a certain diet, like say you eat a shit ton of meat, then bacteria that specializes in breaking down meat is going to thrive, and you'll actually find it harder to digest other foods. I think this may actually play into how people develop allergies to a certain extent, or how there's all these people who like react poorly to bread and think that they've got a gluten allergy. And I was like, no, you just went without eating gluten for so long that you starved out all the bacteria that broke it down. So now you've got all this undigested shit going through your system.
So what you're saying is it's all about what your mother ate?
A lot depends on what you have been eating and your environment, because this is also where like all this sanitation is actually kind of bad, because people treat like all this spreading of bacteria between people like it is 100% a bad thing, when no, this is how we introduce more variety to our microbiome, by actually interacting with the real world.
Okay, because at least when it comes to me, right? I know there's obvious variables. Everybody's different. Everybody has certain issues when it comes to eating certain foods and all that stuff. But with the genetics diet, I will say it's a 50-50 because I'm not supposed to have a high protein, high fat, low carb diet according to the genetics. But I'm doing my thing because in the end, it's all about calories in and calories out. But at the same time, when it comes to your genetics, like what Gray said, your gut, your allergies, your diseases that can accumulate from a certain diet, that plays a big factor.
And then also on calories in, calories out, this is where digestion is important, because two people can eat the exact same food that has the exact same amount of calories, but that doesn't mean that their body is going to absorb the exact same amount of calories. Like when they're calculating calories, they're literally just setting something on fire and seeing how much energy is released. It's not like if you eat 1,000 calories, but 200 of that comes out in a turd, that did not, like, you did not absorb 1,000 calories. You only absorbed 800.
Riggs Jr. And I do agree, Gray. I do agree. That's why I tell everybody to hit the gym if you're not seeing any results. But Rick Jr., I can eat 1,100 calories a day and not drop much at all on the scale. I can't do that. I need to eat more food than that. I need more calories for me to even sustain my current body weight.
Like personally, I'm thinking that some of like the physical issues I've been having lately are a result of working out too much and not eating enough. I think I've actually eaten away. Like while it didn't necessarily result in significant weight loss, I think it started taking from the muscles and the tendons, and I've actually gotten weaker in some areas because they broke down, but they never repaired because there was no material to repair them with.
I'm gonna be right back again, but Gray, when it comes to being too skinny, right? I'm sure you already tried before, and I've seen it all the time, where people, whether it's coaches, whether it's military, whatever it is, having that person eating extra calories even if they don't want to. Like, yeah, I understand that you're not as hungry anymore, but you're gonna eat this extra portion. You gotta gain that weight. How do you feel about that?
Well, especially in something like the military where your body is government property and it is necessary for your body to be in optimal condition. Yes, I think it's absolutely essential because your body is going to adjust how hungry it feels largely based on like certain chemicals being released over a period of time. Like if you eat a meal slowly, you will feel full much sooner. Likewise, if you eat a lot of food very fast, you'll be able to get far more calories down before you actually feel hungry. And this is where we see a lot of problems with overeating and why people who are trying to lose weight are encouraged to eat their meals much more slowly because it gives time for your brain to send the chemicals. But since that's a variable amount, just because you're not hungry doesn't mean you can't eat more, nor that eating more would not be beneficial. It just means that your body has released enough chemicals to say that it's satisfied and no longer feels the need to send you hunger pangs or the sensation of hunger. But your body isn't calculating, oh, you're bulking, therefore you need to eat more calories than this to achieve your goals. Your body doesn't process that. It's just going with the have I eaten enough to satisfy my momentary desires?
Right.
And that needs to be overruled by human thought. We don't do things because they feel good when we know that the effects are beneficial.
We do it for survival. That's it. Like, it's pretty much instinctual at that point. Why do you think, no matter what, when it comes to being stuck on a mountain or being stuck at sea, whether you claim that you're vegetarian or something like that, you resort to eat meat. Why? Because we need meat, whether you like it or not.
Well, there's a shit ton of essential. I think hormones are a big part of it, but there's a bunch of macronutrients, also the enzymes. Let me think. What are they? Chronic would be able to name this off the top of his head. The amino acids. You need a wide variety of amino acids, and they cannot be produced by the body. That's why vegetarians often need various kinds of supplements. And I'm positive you can't get everything you need out of soy.
I took that shit when I was working out seriously.
That's the thing, because the amount of amino acids that you'll need when working out is probably far more varied than you could with a standard diet.
Right.
So even on a regular diet, you'd still need amino acids, especially the rarer ones in larger quantities to help build up muscles. Because the normal human body is not built for working out. Like it doesn't adjust. When I say built, I mean like it's not. It's some hunger desires, it's hormone desires. They're not optimized for the kind of serious bulking that humans are capable of.
That's true, and once again, the goal for the human body is not to get swole. It's just a good fit. All right. So you don't have to, gentlemen, to be swole like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that stuff. That's not a natural thing to do. It's not. All right. It's a competition. It's a little competition to see how big can you possibly get. It is not a normal thing to do. You can be fit. You can definitely be fit to a point where you can do push-ups and sit-ups and able to run a long distance. Okay, cool beans. Because especially back in the day, you had no choice, or you won't eat if you can't chase down your prey and stuff.
Actually, Mr. Pliskin asked an interesting question. Thoughts on eating at night before sleep in order to help gain weight?
Don't eat.
I've been recommended
no.
Not to eat before sleep. Whether or not that would actually help you gain weight.
Which one is it? Hold up. I can't find it. Hold up.
Because I know it's definitely not beneficial to losing
right here.
I don't know if it would actually help you gain weight. That's
no, don't eat before bed. Never eat before bed. You always eat if you're trying to gain weight.
And that's the thing. Even if it helps you gain weight, that's not necessarily the weight you want. You're not trying to build up extra stores of fat.
No, muscle. Breakfast. A lot of things called break fast. Okay, because you've been sleeping the whole time and you've been fasting the entire time on that fat burning and stuff. And when it gets to that point, in the morning, if you're trying to gain a lot of weight, that's the perfect time for you to eat a shit ton of food. Is breakfast. Breakfast and lunch is the perfect time. Okay, I don't know what your schedule is, but if you're trying to get all that protein, get all that fats, and then maybe finish off the carbs during lunch, that's a perfect opportunity from 8 or 9 up until noon. Okay, that's a perfect time to stuff in your calories.
That's the thing. From what I was told,
or do the 6 meals a day. Go ahead, do the 6 meals a day thing. Yeah.
No, what I've heard was 9 to 9 is your eating time. You don't eat before 9 a.m. You don't eat after 9 p.m.
12 hours. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
But it was more for metabolism reasons. Like you don't want to eat immediately after you wake up. You want your body to get going and start activating first.
I drink apple cider vinegar and lemon juice every morning. But Mr. Pliskin, coming from a guy that's swole right now, eat once you wake up and get ready for the day. I don't know if you drink coffee. I don't know if you drink apple cider vinegar, wherever it is. But breakfast is break fast for a reason. Okay. When it comes to you gaining weight, I highly suggest that you eat breakfast and lunch. Dinner, that's optional.
Now, actually, coffee first thing in the morning, I was told is actually good because it stimulates a bowel movement and helps clear out toxins that have built up and been filtered out overnight.
Yeah, coffee or apple cider vinegar is perfect. But either or is great when it comes to being able to lose that body fat and gain muscle. But in the end, breakfast, lunch, and maybe dinner is the best possible way. If you're really trying to gain all that muscle, eat breakfast, eat lunch, and then eat early dinner around 5 or 6 p.m. I don't know what your schedule is, but eat dinner as early as possible, and then you're done. Stop eating. Stop. So that's the first part. We didn't even really get into how many calories or what type of foods to eat. But in the end, at least in my opinion, once you wake up, breakfast and lunch, you don't mess around. You eat a good amount of food. All All right. And on top of that, I remember I took mass gainer as well. I wouldn't recommend, but it did help me gain weight because I was, at least back in high school, I was eating around 6,000 calories. That's a lot of fucking calories. But like what everybody else is saying, Mr. Pliskin, if you really want something in detail, I'll definitely say hit up Island Hermit. He'll be able to give you his experience. But when it comes to me, when it comes to gaining weight, you need to be able to not eat for a certain window, which is pretty much sleeping, right? 8 to 10 hours. But then when you wake up, once you're ready for the day, you got your coffee, whatever it is, you go to fucking town when it comes to breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, I guess as a rough guideline, I'd say if you're going to have breakfast, have it after an hour and a half to 2 hours after waking up.
In my opinion, you need to also do a fasted workout. Don't eat before you work out. Go to the gym, work out first, then fill your body up with all the nutrients it needs, because it'll just throughout the day you'll be able to absorb it.
Yeah, so if your schedule was you wake up, have some coffee, go to the gym, go to the bathroom, and then have breakfast about the 90-minute to 2-hour mark afterwards, that's probably an optimal morning. And then don't eat at least 2 hours prior to bed.
So, Mr. Pliskin, so you already pretty much know. What's with the questions, Mr. Pliskin?
At the very least, bouncing the idea.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. If you already were a serious bodybuilder, but in all seriousness, I still don't mind giving out advice. Okay, Mr. Pliskin,
and the chat will get to benefit.
I'm telling you right now, Mr. Pliskin, cut back as much sugar as possible. When it comes to like refined sugar, cut that shit out.
Yeah, primary sugar you should be having is glucose, none of the sucrose shit.
Yeah, the oatmeal, the bread, or the rice or whatever, that's good. Everything else, cut off. Because if you have the same metabolism as I do, I have at least one row of cookies, right? Just like as a cheat day. So for some reason, I gain like 3 pounds. Like for some fucking reason.
And rice actually breaks down a lot easier than bread because the starch fibers are much shorter.
Honestly, if we ever get the Warband house, we'll definitely put out some tutorials to get them gains. Because don't let your age stop you from being the best version of yourself. I know somebody that's literally in their 60s doing better than me when it comes to working out. They look shredded. I'm pretty sure they're taking some type of drug, but they look shredded. Okay.
Yeah,
but
some of them are on the, especially if they look shredded. Well.
Or just because
no, I guess you could look shredded. It's really a question of the mass that you'd be able to acquire.
Right, but just because they're shredded or they're massive doesn't mean that they didn't put in the work.
Oh, no. That's the thing. Like, you need to put in, like, there's only a certain age where you can, like, just take the fucking, like, TRT or whatever and get gains passively. You just need to put in the work to get actual proper gains.
And that's another thing that will go along with the topic today. Okay. Have you guys noticed how many abbreviations, how many words in today's society to excuse being mediocre, weak, frail, effeminate? What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Well, it's not just that they strip phobic. there's that aspect, but then they also take serious things and then they soften the language. George Carlin spoke on this a long time ago. Like when there's a serious topic that they need to make it sound less serious, like they soften it up. So like fat becomes obese. They keep adding syllables. They take away the hard consonants.
I definitely agree. I agree 1,000,000%. How do you really believe in a society where there's masculine men, they will excuse other men? Hell, even women. Do you think they will excuse weakness? No.
Well, no. That's the thing. They excuse it because it's not necessary that they see. Like when you have a culture and a society that requires strength for survival, then yes. Then yeah, they're not going to excuse that shit, and they're going to be fucking shamed and possibly removed from society.
And do you know how many looks I've got when I said that once the U.S. is looking similar to Ukraine, are y'all really going to say this same old bullshit? Oh, the beady eyes I got when I mentioned that. I'm like, you like, I'm not stopping you. If you want to fight so hard on behalf of Ukraine, if you want to fight so hard on behalf of the United States, if there's any type of conflict within our borders, go ahead and grab that rifle. Go ahead. Go ahead. Because I'm tired of you saying, oh, we need to do something. We need to do something. Who is we?
Yeah, we is not them.
So
if they wanted to do something, they'd say I. When they say we, they want other people to do it, but they want credit for the idea.
Exactly. I'm like, so when you say we, you mean me, a man. Yeah. No. Go ahead and grab this. Go ahead and grab this weapon.
It's like when a wife says like, "Oh, we built that shed." The husband's like, "No, I built the shed. You told me to build the shed."
Oh man, exactly. That's why that saying goes: behind every great man is a woman that's trying to take credit. It happens all the time. I'm like, lady, I did not see you at all putting this house together that was built.
Funny.
You literally just walked in there.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of the greatest irony of the story of the Little Red Hen, is that a woman would take all that initiative.
Talking about, oh, we did this, we. All you did was exist. You didn't help nobody out. But now, like, the fact
you bring in fucking tea and lemonade, right, and some fucking cookies is not helping.
No, not at all. And the funny part, the ironic part, which is why I also say that society is a Twilight Zone, is that you demonized, you made fun of, you degraded, you humiliated men for decades. Decades. But when shit gets real, which I believe it will get real very soon, you'll be looking for that very same group of men to save your life. But they're not going to be found at all. They're going to be nowhere to be found because of you. Like what Dave Chappelle said, chivalry's dead and women killed it. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
That's the thing. You've even got the odd woman nowadays, like, trying to fucking salvage it by basically telling women, stop ruining the men for the rest of us. That's the thing.
Which
like,
is
it's gone from, oh, who hurt you, like, to, oh, now you actually admit you know who's causing the problem. Now you admit it because now you've realized that shame doesn't work and you actually need these men in order to survive because they've stopped giving a shit about your fucking problems.
And like I said before, women, they don't give a fuck about men. They don't give a fuck about male issues until it affects them personally. I repeat, women do not care about male issues, and until it affects them personally, that's when they start beating their chest, talking about stop treating these men bad. You women ain't shit. Blah blah blah. But this entire time, years before, you were quiet. You were happy of the position that you were in society. But now, when the pendulum is swinging back in your direction, and you are taking the heat, all of a sudden you're not feminist anymore. Because there's plenty of videos out there of modern women saying, "Oh, I am a ex-feminist." Get the fuck out of here.
You just ain't an ex-feminist. You just fucking changed up your strategy because you realize that the men you want aren't in the feminist camp.
Chameleons. And like I said before, gentlemen, a woman cannot physically force a man to do something. So what is her best next weapon? Her mouth. Her able to gaslight, manipulate, able to make you seem like you're the crazy one. That's her power. Once you go into the emotional world, once you go into her world, you already lost. That's why logic and reasoning is our forte, because that's what's that counteracts all that emotional bullshit. What did I say about that, Gray?
As soon as a woman wants something, the first words out of her mouth are "I feel."
I feel.
Yeah, and as soon as they say that, you know that like you could point out the fucking logical fucking bullshit or the double standards, but like, it doesn't matter. Reality does not matter.
It doesn't. She doesn't care if she's right or wrong. And gentlemen, I'm talking about your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your mother, your grandmother, etc. They don't care if they're right or wrong. They just want their feelings to be validated. I repeat, they do not care if they're right or wrong. They only want their feelings to be validated.
It's not hate. We're just acknowledging the situation for what it is.
Because I'm sure you guys, plenty of times when you had a woman, whether it's family member or not, come to you about their issues, and you, with your logical and rational brain, try to come up with a solution, they get pissed off at you just for coming up with a solution. That's where the miscommunication comes in. Because men, we immediately try to find a solution to a problem, right, Gray?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, oh, problem? Oh, here, solution. And usually it's not a terribly difficult solution either.
It could be the most pettiest of stuff, and to the point where, let's say that a girl comes to you and complain about her coworkers at work and stuff, and then you figure out that she herself is the problem. You really think that she's going to listen to that? She wants you to acknowledge her feelings and validate her feelings. That's more important to her than being right or wrong. And if that is pretty much the default setting of Western women or women in general, that's pretty bad, especially when it comes to taking on leadership positions.
That's the thing. They want to be the one to Again, they want the authority, but they don't want the responsibility. They want to tell everyone what to do, but they don't want to be responsible for anything when something goes wrong. They think that everything's just like, well, I say it's going to happen, and then it's going to happen exactly the way I want it. And when it doesn't happen the way I want it, I'll complain that it didn't happen exactly the way I want it. And I'll just keep on getting individual things until somebody fucking snaps at me, and then I'll cry, and then everyone else will beat that person up, and I will be held blameless for everything.
I agree. That's why when it comes to a position of authority, most women will much rather have a male boss than a female boss. Oh, you guys didn't know that? I'm pretty sure you guys did. But they will much rather, majority of women will much rather have a male boss than a female boss. Because, once again, with Al Bundy's quote, women understand women and they hate each other.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, they can't, like, think about, like, their primary weapons. They only work on men. In a one-on-one confrontational situation, like, what are you going to do? Gaslight a woman into building your deck?
Oh, shit. Well, you put it that way.
Like, it ain't going to happen. Like, if you need something done, like, two women will fucking argue about it back and forth. But at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything.
Exactly. And it's crazy when you're an adult. When you're an adult as a man, you're an adult. It's crazy that even female family members that are older than you, such as your auntie or your mom or whatever, if shit gets crazy, whether it's a small situation or a big situation, they're looking at you to do something. What? What? I repeat, even if it's older women in your family, such as your mother, your aunt, your cousin, wherever it is, people who are women who are older than you, they're still looking at you if shit hits the fan. What do you guys say about that, Gray?
I'm not. It goes even beyond that. They won't even be fucking clear on what they want. Like, they'll want a thing, and they'll tell everyone but you what they want specifically. But then when it comes to you, they'll be fucking vague and try to get you to do it of your own initiative with, like, subtle pecks. It's like, for fuck's sakes, tell me what's bugging you. Tell me what you want done about it, and we'll fucking negotiate on it. But no, instead it's, I'll drop a vague hint and then bitch to everyone else.
Exactly, but also what I was saying before is if shit gets crazy and it hits the fan, even your own mother, the aunts, and all that stuff, they'll be looking at you to do something.
Yeah, no, fuck, they can barely handle themselves in peacetime.
Oh shit, you're not wrong. you're not wrong at all. Not like to the point where, okay, see, this is why I wonder, like, hey, why do they truly want grandkids? And I notice it is more for the grandmother than the grandfather. The grandmother wants somebody around.
The grandmother wants fucking kids again, and she can't have them.
But on top of that, she wants errand boys and errand girls to mow the lawn, help around the house, and all that stuff every weekend or every other weekend.
Well, plus that's the thing with grandkids. Like, the grandmother can play good cop, and so, like, you're going to have infinitely more positive memories with your grandmother than you are with your actual mother, because grandmother just fucking spoiled you rotten every time you were a kid and didn't have to face any of the consequences of it.
Shit, for me it was a grandfather. I wasn't a dick, so it's, you know, I didn't get in trouble as much as other kids.
But the principle's the same. The grandparents get all the joys of having kids again without any other responsibilities.
Right, they'd just be able to chill and not actually have to worry about, you know, taking care of them. I definitely
it's like,
agree.
oh, hey, the grandkids are coming here for an hour. Well, I'll just feed them a shit ton of cookies and soda, and then send them back so that their parents can deal with the hyperactive little shits.
Hell, at times which I remember when I was younger, they demanded that you bring the grandkids over. Like, what the fuck? What? But when the grandkids are older, they're teenagers or young adults. They're literally errand boys or errand girls.
No, and then it's funny, like the demand to bring the grandkids over, and then the grandkids got to sit at a fucking separate table and be quiet the entire time while the adults are talking.
Shit, good thing I didn't have to deal with that when I turned 16. When I turned 16, that's when it slightly changed in the sense of, you know, they're not talking to me like I'm some youngin'. But when it comes to being teenager or young adults, yes, even as young adults, the grandkids are expected to take care of the grandparents. Not every day, but whenever possible. If they need help with mowing the lawn or walking the dog or making sure that the grandparents are taking meds. Now I see why grandparents are so adamant on having grandkids.
Well, it's the cycle of things. Everyone wants to be looked after, and they want to be looked after by someone who has the most positive opinion of them.
But it's like it makes no. So in the sense of, it makes you think, at least as a man, right? When it comes to your parents, it's like, huh. So you want me to get married and stuff, not just because you're worried about my happiness. It's because you want grandkids so you can be insured.
Okay, let's be honest.
Taken care of.
How many times has someone said, "I'm worried about your happiness," and they've genuinely been just worried about your happiness?
One person. It is one of the boys. Let's go.
Yeah. Like,
yes, your homies care more about your feelings than your own family. Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. Like it, that's literally what happens. Unfortunately, even your own family is all about what they want. But when it comes to your close friends, they truly do care about what's going on with you in the long run. And I ain't talking about those fake friends that, oh, they want you to do good but not better than them. No, I'm talking about some true ride or die friends.
And it makes sense, even on a like less compassionate standpoint. You want to be around people who are happy. You want to be around people who feel good about themselves. So you want that in the people you hang out with the most, i.e., your friends.
But that's the unfortunate reality of 2022. Not too many people had the experience of having grandparents. Not too many people had the experience of having parents. Not too many people had the experience to have nuclear families. Not too many people had the experience to have a stable home when it comes to emotional, financial, whatever it is. Okay. Because the government, in my opinion, accomplished their mission in destroying the nuclear family. What do you have to say about that, Gray?
Yeah, just looking at the percentages, especially compare like 50 years ago, 60 years ago to now. It hasn't been annihilated, but like if this was an army, then yeah, the army's been defeated.
Yeah, and it was not that hard for them at all. It's not that hard. They just whisper in the ear like Aaron, right? Like in Attack on Titan. Just, you know, you really gonna let this grown male tell you what to do? Kick him out the house. Give your kid to the school system and be raised by the government. It is literally at that point where things went completely downhill, things went out of control. Generations of women that believe that they're above the law, they're above consequences. Plenty of them had to pay the ultimate price for thinking that they're invincible, right? They ain't no Tony Montana. Okay. They really believe that they are untouchable until that man snaps, and then it's HMT. So when it comes to that situation, now women, they're more and more becoming alone. I'm talking about the late 20s all the way up into like 40s or 50s. It is increasing rapidly on how quick our women are not able to secure a relationship, which they fail to realize men are the gatekeepers of relationships. We choose who we commit to or not when it comes to our protection, resources, finances, whatever it is. Okay. Men are in charge of that, not her. What is she going to do if you walk out that door and never come back? Nothing. Nothing. So, to end on that situation, gentlemen, knowing that you can do all the things that you want to do within your life and you can potentially have your own family in the future, don't be that simp motherfucker that we just showed earlier that the slightest hint of potentially getting puniti, you drop all your morals, values, ethics, morals just to get a little quickie, and then your entire life is ruined when she starts throwing some false allegations at you. You will be Johnny, not Johnny, Johnny Depp 2.0. What do you guys say about that, Gray?
Yeah, getting control of things, like being able to look at your life from a more objective standpoint, it's definitely key. But can you imagine for a second, like in this age of social media, like what if women were as adverse to posting their L's as men are?
I can't even imagine that, because that will be insane.
Yeah, but like just try to picture for a second where it's like women tell on themselves all the time. Imagine how much harder it would be if they didn't.
If they didn't post their L's?
Yeah, if they didn't post their L's.
It wouldn't be hard for them at all.
That's the thing.
They didn't post their L's.
They did exactly. Like, again, it's not men that are causing all this. Like,
well,
men are
true.
just answering the questions that are raised. But like, imagine for a second if they were actually able to hold the line and be like, no, I am actually a full-on feminist and I am happy. Imagine if there was no "Where are all the good men" articles, if they were actually able to just keep their shit together.
They definitely will be a lot more concealed and able to get more simps on board too easy.
Precisely.
But Gray, do you have anything else to say to the Warband before we head out? Because it's been 3 hours, went by quick. Holy shit.
Yeah. No, honestly, I think we're good to wrap it up. We've covered basically everything here.
Okay. So, chat, I know that I said that I was going to be taking a break and stuff and blah, blah, blah. But I had to talk about these things because it was getting out of control right around the same time that I said I was taking a break. I know it's bad timing, but I was not going to just stand there and let all these juicy topics go aside, because if we don't talk about it, who else will? Nobody. What, we're going to let The View talk about it? Think on that, gentlemen. Think on that. There's the reasons why my channel, Undercross channel, Ribby, all these other channels exist, okay? Because if we don't consistently talk about these issues, these male issues, no other platform is going to be talking about it. And then our voices are lost. Think about that, gentlemen. Think on that. So, to conclude, I plan on getting on a certain game called Sea of Thieves soon. It will be in an hour and a half. Hopefully, we'll be able to live stream. Hopefully, we won't have to kink that out. If we do a live stream again, it will definitely be me being a pirate, yeeting all these people trying to take my treasure. Ain't that right, Gray?
Oh yeah, there's there's no shortage of that.
Oh, hell yeah. But thank you, everybody, for joining. I know it was early, but this is the only time I believe I'll have the best time. But in the end, hopefully you guys had a bunch of gems dropped on you today. And we are out. Peace.
Peace out, Warband.